So, hello and welcome. Today we are at my HQ and I have special guest for you. It's Tomasz, who came few hundred kilometers from his home here to take back his special Commodore 128D in a plastic case, which is sitting behind us on the table, and we are going to tell you something about this one and show you Dolphin DOS 3.0 original, developed and mounted in Germany, that is powering this computer. And there is also additional special thing. Andrzej Bogacz, known in Poland as Yovish, developed this
switch box.
Yes, some kind of switch box which allows you to connect both VIC and VDC to one screen through SCART, and you have few switches here to configure it between RGBI, composite, 40 and 80 column, and so on. But the first thing that personally also is interesting for me is that how Tomasz did get this machine and how possibly was it used, because, well, at least in Poland such configuration is quite unusual. Let's go!
Okay, so this Commodore I get from my friend Kamil. This was originally owned by his grandfather, and he was working on some things for the German company. I don't know details because his grandfather passed away in 2000 something year, and after his death it was just sitting in the flat, so that's why Kamil asked me if I don't want it, and I get it for free. So again, thank you, Kamil. And yeah, this thing was sitting in my house for a few years. It was started from time to time to check some demos and things on Commodore because I love Commodores. What can I tell more? Yeah, it has some custom ROM. I don't remember what is the second ROM, and probably it was used for some kind of business related things, because also his grandfather had an printer for this Commodore. I didn't ask him for any prints, but maybe in future I will. So that's the case.
Okay, so the machine is well, almost fully functional, because I didn't test every aspect. Tomasz brought that video switch box just today, so finally today I just tested that VDC output is good, working properly both in monochrome and color mode. We had a little bit confusion about how to switch the 40 and 80 column, because it seems that probably the key is not working, or maybe some line on the cable is stuck, something like that. But I did overcome that using such adapter which I do assembling within my business. So we can force the 80 column mode using this adapter and then reconnect the proper keyboard, and it works. I must admit that I hope that you will be able to tell more what was this machine actually used for, because, well, I think that in Germany it was just usual Dolphin DOS, but in Poland such modifications were not existing actually. They could be found only on computers which were imported from Germany, among others The Dolphin DOS is not the only one which has got that parallel connection between this drive and usable. Actually, in this computer it's done externally. It's not visible from the perspective of this camera, but I think we will include a video where it can be seen that this drive actually has got external connection to user code. I also did a few modifications here for Thomas, because from my point of view today, every desktop Commodore 128 should have 8-9 switch, which is easily accessible, and ATM line cut with another switch, because this allows you to use
External.
external drives as primary number 8, Ultimate 1541 I mean, and other stuff like P1541, SD2 IEC, and so on. And if you don't have those switches, you are mostly bound to the internal drive running as number 8. So I included 2 of those switches. Okay. So I think that as introduction, it's good. Let's make movies from hand using the phone and show you details. Okay, so right now we are in the Commodore 64 mode. DOS veg is here. Look at how fast does that directory, it's short directory obviously, but look how fast it did show up. And now let's count 200 blocks. Dolphin DOS is active both on the Commodore side, as you could see in the welcome screen, and in the disk drive, because, well, let's reset. You use the multimeter probe. Yeah, reset, and this drive shows us as Dolphin DOS as well, and let's load it. Tick, tick. 200 blocks in like 5 seconds. Instant loading. And you could possibly hear how often we have also problem with okay, something unexpected did happen as usual, sorry, but this TV is dying. As you could see, half of screen is quite bright, another half is dimmed a little bit, it's dying, and usually it doesn't give any sound, and now it was, and actually those buttons don't really work, so sorry. We will not cut it because it's, you know, one cut spontaneous video. Okay, now we are in the Commodore 128 mode. And it doesn't know that DOS veg, but it doesn't matter, whatever. The more interesting thing is what we have got here. Here you can see configuration switches. It's like composite, 40 column, and this is quite strange that you have to have no from for composite. I don't care, whatever. Another thing that is quite unusual is that original Dolphin DOS module, which is connected here instead of its CPU. Yeah, so this cable is connected here instead of CPU, which is put here instead. I did dump all ROMs here, and at this moment I don't remember what was the second ROM you were talking about actually. and I will not recall it instantly. I don't remember if there was any other actually. Whatever. This switch disables Dolphin DOS, so we can have usual ROM. And also there is a very ugly board. And don't blame me for this, because Tomasz asked me to do it this way. And here is that aforementioned configuration options that you can switch 8.9 and disable visibility completely. And the third option was, if I recall correctly, to disable Dolphin DOS on the Commodore side. Here you can see cables cut, that's for ATN, and here was jumper cut, and those cables are for that 8 or 9 drive number. Okay, so let's show this switch box on 80 column mode, but first we need to connect adapter to full its keyboard doing this. And now the screen is blank. And here we have composite, monochrome composite. And this is RGBI, all over SCART. And we can show colors as well. Ah, I need to connect the keyboard again. So, reverse on. Actually, the colors are quite crispy, and there is no problem with recognizing the characters. I mean that on composite, even monochrome, the picture is a little bit distorted. There is a problem with the TV as well, because there is a little bit of ghosting, but that's definitely a problem with this dying TV. But in RGBI, it's really good, even on such low quality old dying TV. So yes, Yovish did good job, and I think he's still working on improvement on that. Well, actually, I think it's all we can show. Dolphin DOS, if I recall correctly, can also improve other operations like save, communication, overall communication on serial bus, and so on. The reactive files and so on and so on. Sequential files are also upspeeded, I think. But I think that today Jiffy DOS is more profitable, because you only change ROM and you get a very high level of compatibility. And also it's not like only load is upspeeded, but also levels in games are loaded faster.
Yeah, and this is 3.0 or 3.4?
3.0 definitely, both on the disk side and computer side.
Okay.
I don't know if there is any higher version number, and even if they are, then you can probably assume that somebody did only change that, as it was with many cartridges in Poland, like Black Box or Final or something like that. People tried to fool that this is a little bit newer version only by changing text in the cartridge, and there was no change in actual functionality. Okay, so thank you. Tomasz is taking this machine home soon. So if you have any further questions, I think he will be happy to answer. I'm still impressed by speed improvement of this solution, but I think that it must have been quite expensive anyway. And today it would also cost a little bit too much to overcome what Jiffy Dolls gives you. I think we can stop at this moment, so thank you for watching.